up on your crew like, hey. DC's in the building, bust through the ceiling.
Ain't no other kings in this rap thing, I'm gigantic. I diagram it for you, iceberg the Titanic. I'm the drums, I'm the bass, I'm the monster on the beat. Boom box on my shoulder when I'm stomping through the streets. So pump up the volume and play this loud. I'm an original with flavor.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the latest episode of the Gen X Lounge. Hope you're all doing very well today. I have with me, you know what, we're not going to go by those other names, but you know, my name, Sir Genesis, aka Nana, aka Tuesday, you can always call me that. And with me I have my two beautiful co-hosts.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay, well, we do have Jody here, aka Apple Crisper, and we do have Sabrina, aka Lady Curls a Lot.
Thank you kindly.
Absolutely, and I hope you two are doing very well today.
It's a beautiful sunshiny day outside here in the network of Calgary, Alberta.
Absolutely.
I would say it's fantastic.
Out in the new burbs.
Yes,
That's right.
yes. We're in a little bit of a new neighborhood right now, which is amazing and filled with new smells of new homes and new dirt. So
Yes.
that's great.
It's potentially toxic, but it's so enticing.
Absolutely, you know.
And it's nice and cool. That is the trend we need right now.
Absolutely. And some funny looking water. So maybe we'll end up with superhuman powers by the end of this. So that's great. Okay.
Yes. What's our topic?
Yes.
So Genesis.
I know that today we are going to be talking about silly trends and stupid things that we've seen on TikTok and around the world. So, what do we have first on the docket?
Oh, our ever famous ASMR.
Oh,
Apparently it's a
yes.
growing trend, or maybe even not growing anymore. It's just hit
not going
the
away.
top.
You know, even though it is silly, I have a little bit of a soft spot for it.
Tell us more.
I don't know why, but it's just kind of cool whispering into a mic like, hello, everyone. And having little enunciation parties and saying things like, enunciation.
It's weirdly strange watching you, first of all, do this into a microphone. It's a little uncanny.
It is.
The research is showing that it's used for de-stressing. A lot of the new generations that are popping up, like Generation Z, or even
Are
millennials.
women wanting to hear it, though? It seems they're more the creators
Yes.
than wanting to.
The recipients?
Yes,
Yes.
there definitely is an audience for women having more personalized messages to men in the really sultry, soft, whispery voice. I believe there might be some OnlyFans that are just ASMR.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
It's huge.
Yes.
There are stars out there who have a platform, and that's all they do. They don't really need to perform anymore.
Oh, yes.
They've got enough of clientele who are willing to pay the big bucks for hearing interesting phrases or expressions, or like you said, the enunciation.
Well, I mean, I've seen a few, usually voluptuous women, and they do the ASMR, and I see their view counts at, oh, wow, this video that's just ASMR for about a minute talking about her day has 350,000 views or something along that.
So is
Yeah,
it
we
just
can-
more about watching a hot girl? And she could be doing anything?
I believe that's just the icing on the cake. Makes the guys...
Makes you wonder
Yeah.
what's going on behind their...
Does it make you
psyche.
wonder? I mean...
It totally does. It makes you wonder, like, what inspires you to go to that level that you're not getting either at
Oh,
home
I see what
or
you're
your
saying.
life. Like, what's missing in your life that you need to use those methods to feel satisfied or to feel happy?
It feels like it's hitting that inner child.
Maybe, yeah.
Or
Where-
inner child or inner pervert.
Well, sometimes.
I mean, that's what you said before. First thing that came to mind, you're just like, it makes me wonder. And I'm like, I hope you don't mean makes you wonder what the guys are doing behind the scenes for that.
Well,
That's
I can imagine.
yes.
Those other things. But if it's just, you're amazing. Getting the positive.
You know, yeah, I think
Then it's almost like their 7-year-old inside of them didn't get it enough
Yes.
as a kid.
I agree with that. I actually saw an episode where there was they interviewed a couple of kids. They were giving these positive affirmations as part of their school project for Kids Helpline. Actually, was related to a concept like that.
Right.
And it went really well. Like these were like 7, 8-year-olds who would just say kind things to one another, and it was so simple. It was beautiful. I think that reporter asked them like, "What inspired you?" And she was like, "I just wanted people to be more kind to one another." That was beautiful. But
That's
I'm not
really
talking about the
cute.
child beautiful stuff. I'm talking about the lip smacking, I don't know, like choking or like cracker eating, crunching type of foot fetish people that exist in the world, to each their own. I'm not judging you, but I'm kind of slightly judging
You know what?
Is it good that there's now an outlet for them, though? Because what goes on if there isn't an outlet where it's easy for them to get quick, put a payment through and
fulfill their
those
need.
needs are met?
Well, you know what? I'm also kind of wondering, like, the origins for ASMR. I hear that it was more about some sort of extrasensory thing, but I am not sure. All that's in my mind right now is what would pop rock sound like when you put it next to the mic.
Yeah.
Would it be just like...
We need to do that.
That's going to be, just
be
so
amazing.
our, fans out there, our audience, whoever decides they want to listen to us, we're going to sample the Gen X version of these most outrageous trends that are existing in our span of time right now.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I do want to say that until I get my hands on some pop rocks, I don't know. What would another trend be that is a little bit odd? I know that myself personally, and I did see this within a gym, a couple of girls were measuring the size of their, I guess, their posteriors or their butts by by rolling to see. They actually put the bench press bar with about 45s on each side sideways and had one person lie down between them, and they pushed the bar, and if the bar stopped at their butt, they would cheer as if they had a great big butt, and they were like, "You are thicker than a Snicker."
So we've got body shaming in that. So if you had a flat ass, you wouldn't have the applause.
Yeah.
Holy, talk about like self-esteem issues 101 happening here.
And with an audience? No.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I was just scared the fact that someone, if it rolled, it might hit them in the head or something like that. It was just like, oh, so I don't know. It was weird, but as soon as I saw that, I was wondering whether I would be able to like stop. I know it was silly and it was dumb, but I still had that thought.
So inspired our Nana to test out this theory.
No. I don't need to because I know I do those squats.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that alone.
I did that growing up. Well, to see if a female in particular had curves, it would be either standing against a wall or seeing if you could fit through a narrow passageway of some sort.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's how you do a bit of a test.
Oh, really?
Without your body parts hitting the other side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But you didn't want a very voluptuous butt back then, and now that's
Big butts are the
changed.
trend.
It was more about the boobs back then.
Oh,
Yeah.
And that's what you got shamed for not having or...
wow.
Well, maybe we're going back into the days of the Marilyn Monroe era.
You know we are.
Where voluptuous was bigger. Like, bigger was better.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the skinny models that you see that I grew up with, right? The Barbie figure, right?
You know.
It was Marilyn Monroe back then, and now we're kind of going back to that. It's kind of interesting. Maybe history just evolves
Everything
that
kind
way.
of loops.
It does.
seems.
Well, I mean, there also are different influences. I mean, let's be honest here. As a hip-hop artist myself, the voluptuous woman was brought into by the women in the videos, which were the whole, like, I mean, sort of mix a lot, I like big butts. And I still remember getting grounded by my mom for watching Big Pimpin' by Jay-Z. And as soon as she saw the very voluptuous women in that, she was just like, no. You're grounded. So,
Well, even in the Sir Mix-a-Lot video, it starts with, like, look at her butt.
Yeah.
And it's like they're
my
shaming.
God.
It's not like, damn, I want that butt.
No, you're right.
It's some rap star's girlfriend.
But even then, it was like, what, 36, 24, 36? only she's 5'3" or something like that. I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah.
Part of pop culture, though, that shapes
It
how we
is.
think about beauty.
Although I always wondered with let's go to one of the OG voluptuous women, Jessica Rabbit off of
Oh, yeah.
Roger Rabbit. I always thought, because, her hips were animated just like crazy. And,
But her waist,
it was so small.
it was very Marilyn Monroe. Again,
Very.
it came from that era. Dick Tracy time,
Oh,
right?
yeah. That was exactly, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I always wondered whether when she swung her hips, she would like be breaking lamps along the way, just like couple of kids be knocked away or something like that. She was just like bam, bam, just like knocking everything, like a wrecking ball.
I'd lose my balance.
That's exactly
so
it.
much going on.
There's a lot going on there. It's just you're just like, I don't even know if that's physically possible, but it is what it is.
It's just like the apple bottom jeans.
Boots with the fur. Because the whole club is looking at her.
Straight up. So now we have another trend we have to test out.
Oh, yes.
How voluptuous our butts are. Gen X style. Stay tuned, gang.
We're gonna improvise, or we're gonna have to go to a gym.
Yeah.
I prefer improvise.
I do.
Thing I feel I'm.
People will watch
Yeah.
and judge us.
And we don't want to answer a lot of those questions that we're going to
Gen
get.
X.
Exactly.
No, we don't.
Try to be in the shadows.
That's right. We make fun of you behind the scenes, not in front of you.
That's a good way to put it, especially behind the scenes. So yeah, that's a good way to put it. Oh my goodness.
Well, the other one that we have on our list of trends is the dance-offs. Or the the older generation's version of things that are being posted on TikTok that we would totally make fun of and clearly cannot execute. The dance themes,
Oh
the
yes.
TikTok style videos where it's only focused on rehearsal and choreographed themes
So
versus
polished.
yeah. Everything looks so perfect. Perfectionism, that's the
Yes,
theme, right?
it's true.
Whereas back in the day when you were dancing in front of people, there would be the odd person who'd be looking at the camera and putting them out, fixing their hair, making sure everything was right. And then there'd be the wild children just dancing all carefree.
Well, and that made it more authentic.
Yeah.
Because when they were dancing, it's just like dancing in the shower. You're just dancing like nobody's watching. And when they are really feeling the music, that's why you loved Electric Circus. It was just like everybody was going, you heard the and they were just like going nuts crazy, and it was really fun. Half of the time we were just like, wow, I want to be on that show too. And you couldn't dance a lick, but it looked fun.
They looked like they were having so much
They
fun.
looked like
And
they
it
were
didn't
having a
look
lot of fun.
rehearsed as much.
No.
And maybe it was,
Absolutely.
because I never
Some
actually
people
got to.
probably listened to a song
Yeah.
over and over and had some moves, and they
Yeah.
had all their own outfits.
Yeah.
Everyone just did their
Absolutely.
own thing. Did not care. It wasn't about trying to impress anyone. They thought they were just killing it. And
There's that episode
Love
with
it.
Friends. Do you remember, Jody, where Ross and I think his sister Monica, they wanted to rehearse? Do you
yes!
remember?
That was
yes,
so
they were
good.
going on electric. They were totally
Oh,
they
really?
were
Whatever their
the
dance show was.
TikTok of that generation
Yeah.
because they were rehearsing and they were ready to perform on the stage. It was hilarious.
Were they
Oh my
ice
goodness.
skating before?
Yeah,
and
something
that's-
like
yeah.
that. So to say there, we could bridge the gap between those of the TikTok users today
That's true.
and those of the people of the past, because there was still that sentiment.
I
Yes.
remember doing that. I remember going to clubs and there'd be certain goofy moves, and then everyone would look at each other and,
And
you
copy.
know, and you do that
Yeah.
move.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's true.
The Carlton. Come
Oh.
on, we all know the Carlton. Everybody, that's all
To me,
comes
that
on.
is not even goofy. I
No.
love that. I mean, every time someone plays that Tom Jones song,
Yeah.
one person's going to try and
I
do
got Tom Jones CDs because of the Carlton.
Right?
that. Yes. Yes.
Can't help it.
Yes, that's CDs.
Oh my.
So we're just as
goodness.
guilty as the TikTokers
We
of
are.
the world.
Yes,
But
we
I
are.
feel more prominent in that we don't rehearse as much. Mm-hmm. We just go with the flow.
And sometimes the best dances come out of that.
Yeah.
You're just like, wow, that looks like you're having a seizure. Okay, but then all of a sudden that's the next dance craze, and you're just like, that looks amazing.
It's like the Techno Viking, that video where he just doing his thing and someone happened to be recording him.
Exactly.
And you're just like, good for you. You are just living life. And that was the best.
You know what the interesting thing is, though? We had to wait for it more.
Yeah.
So I felt like there was more appreciation versus now it's like every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Probably even less if I was to truly time it. Everybody's doing their own video, rehearsing, creating their own meme, whatever you want to. But it's like over sensationalized.
Yeah.
It wasn't as exciting. Back in the day, I was excited because it took so long to get to me. So I had delayed gratification.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And now everything is like every single second, 2 minutes on a TikTok video. Then you have about 70 other people that are mimicking it right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Following suit. Right?
Absolutely.
Like right now when they're, on the TikTok video where you've got a person who's of a different generation mimicking what they just saw, only in a very unflattering moment.
Yep.
It's happening already.
Yeah.
Right?
I love it when you see kind of middle-aged individuals that will take something their kids are doing and they do their take on it. And
Totally. It's
so
hilarious.
good.
It's hilarious. I remember I'm totally switching gears here, but it's still
Of
along
course.
the same trend
Of course.
of mismatched TikToks and our trends. When I was growing up, a big trend in junior high was light as a feather.
At
Oh my god! At sleepovers, what is it
Yes.
called? Remind me.
What is that?
I forget.
Light
when
as
you
a feather,
lift someone.
stiff as a board. Light as
and
a
you
feather.
was it 2
Yes.
fingers?
Yes.
And after you said it repeatedly, you put your fingers under someone that
Yeah.
would be laying there,
Yeah.
and you would lift them. And before you did it, you try to lift them, and it
Yeah.
was dead weight. You couldn't get them up, and you repeat that, and all of a sudden, it was like they're levitating almost.
What
Yeah.
kind of witchcraft is this?
I know, it was typical
It was
sleepover
total
stuff.
sleepover.
Really?
That was the
Yeah, we
trend.
weren't having pillow fights.
No.
We were lifting each other up.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so
Physically and metaphorically.
Oh, okay. I mean, although that does sound kind of cool, but was there a reason why, or just like it was just?
It was
cool?
a thing. It was a junior high thing. I
Yeah.
swear. Grade 7, me and friends at a sleepover tested this theory.
Oh, okay.
It was around the same time as I think the release of Bloody Mary type of movies
Yeah.
as well. So you would go to the
yeah.
mirror, lock the
bathroom.
door in the bathroom,
And do the
t-
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary
Yeah.
3 times and see if she would appear. That was also a huge. I don't know if
Yeah.
that trend
Okay.
exists now in children.
We are totally talking about this now, just because this is absolutely amazing. And as a guy, we were so curious about what happened at girl sleepovers. I mean, other than the fact that we tried to invade a few and then we got kicked out. But half of the time we just thought you guys had pillow fights. So
knew it.
It's no.
I don't
it's-
know
it's
where that
absolutely true.
started.
I don't know.
It has
I've
to be a movie thing.
Ever had a sleepover pillow fight?
I never
I
did.
don't know.
I mean,
so.
granted, I
It
didn't
must
have
have been
too
like
many
a
sleepovers.
because it must have been a movie or something.
It
like
has-
that.
I mean, the thing
It's-
where someone would stick a finger in water.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
I think it was tried once at one sleepover I was at because everyone was afraid to fall asleep first. 'Cause
Yeah.
or
Oh,
you'd have
yes.
something maybe drawn on your face.
Yes.
But
Permanent
didn't really
marker.
happen.
No. There's more stuff like that. More stuff like trying to scare you.
Right. So did any of you do the Bloody Mary? Or
Oh
were
man,
you-
I totally chickened out. I was
didn't
so
do it.
afraid. I
Oh.
chickened
Do
out.
it.
Oh.
I don't like horror movies.
Okay,
We know
okay.
this about
No.
me. I will watch it in if it's bright daylight with people around me. But when it gets to the mirror, I was afraid for mirrors. I hated my bedroom because the mirror was facing my bed. I couldn't stand it. I had nightmares for a really
No.
long time. So I do not watch them now. Just imagine something coming up. I'm sorry, people. Okay, if something came out of you, would you not be fucking losing your mind?
Okay, I mean that would be kind of nuts. I'm not gonna
I would
lie.
shit my
Yes,
pants.
yes.
I'm not going to pretend that I'm not going to be afraid.
Although, if we went upstairs right now into a mirror, I would totally do it in a second.
Yeah, I don't
100
need no
times.
bad mojo in Jody's new.
Yeah,
Yes, I know. I'm
We're gonna have to
I'm not.
find a gas station bathroom or something.
Although I
Pro
will say
tip.
for guys, when we did the sleepovers, it was very similar in the fact that you couldn't get drunk, or else
No.
you will get things drawn on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what it always was. It was always the penis on the face. But one time, what we did, and he was a really good friend. It was a little bit psychological warfare because he was totally just wasted. So what we did is we took out a whole bunch of razors and we shaved one of his legs, and then we're just okay, and then we shaved part of his other leg, and he was a really hairy guy. So what we were just wanting to do is have him think do I have to shave the rest of this day? And yeah, it was.
Did he?
Oh yeah, he did.
No
Because he was just like this. He's like, you guys are the worst. And he was so angry after.
Awful. That's a lot of real estate.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it was like just, I'm like, it was like a jungle. Like he was just absolutely. But other times when we did the whole drawing on the faces, which I never liked doing that, I was just like, that's kind of weird just doing that. But one guy woke up in the middle of it. One guy was drawing on it, and just like a character out of Street Fighter, just rose from the bed with a dragon punch and knocked him like just, I mean, we were just was like, what? He just like without any like sound just hopped up and just dragon punched a guy, and he was just like, oh, like out, and we were just like, yep. He deserved it.
Nowadays, that would have been recorded.
Oh,
Someone
absolutely.
would have been doing the drawing. He
Absolutely.
wakes up, and then you could have put Mortal Kombat to it. Whatever the song
We
is
really
for
could.
combat.
We really could have the old school Mortal Kombat thing going in the back, which would have been amazing. There are some times I actually wish I had like a video player just to remember those kind of things.
Oh, it's okay. We have our memory. We
Yeah,
don't need
and that's
everything
okay. Sometimes you
recorded.
just need to live the moment.
Exactly.
And you don't need to record everything.
No, I totally agree with that.
Don't be that person at the concert that's always holding up the phones
Yeah.
to nothing, and you're just enjoy.
Yeah, I agree. I admit I do take videos, but
Not the whole concert,
I don't do the whole
though.
concert. I can't.
Yeah.
No, then you're missing out. What's the
Exactly.
point? Yeah.
So
So we have a question for the audience, for anybody's listening out there. What is the trend happening right now in the junior high era that would equate to this whole Bloody Mary or light as a feather, stiff as a board? Message us at Gen X Lounge. Join us for future episodes and to see what our version is of the latest trends.
absolutely. At the same time, also like, comment, and subscribe. We want to hear from you, and we'll make the podcast better based on your feedback. So thank you very much. More witchcraft about life as a feather later. But it's been wonderful, and talk to you all later.
Peace.
You stand as a living colossus with plans to reign until your sarcophagus. Whether barbarous or tactician, a deity amongst men is your ambition. Hold the world in the palm of your hand. God bless those underneath your middle finger. They will try to distract you. Temptation is a given with money.